Well, most of y'all know that I'm a guitar player, and in college I learned how to play piano, and I've been playing piano for a lot of years now. I don't play piano daily like I do guitar, and so sometimes my hands are kind of stiff up, but I have the technique still there. So I know where the chords are at, the chord inversions. So if I want to play popular songs, if I'm playing a bass down here, usually I do an octave down here, or a fifth, but I do an octave right now. So that's the chord progression to Let It Be. If I was thinking just kind of sticking with Beatle piano songs. So that's Hey Jude on the piano. This is the Long and Winding Road. So playing it that way, it's actually kind of hard for me not to sing along, but I don't have copyright of the melody. So chords I can play all day long. You can play chord progressions for various things. So if here's a chord progression for Louie Louie. And on that one there, Louie Louie is really known for that minor 5 going on there. So if the one chord going to a 4 chord, and normally it's going to that major chord, but they went to that minor chord. Richard Berry that wrote the song. And what I'm doing is I'm hearing the song in my head, and I'm using some type of a composite rhythm. It may be only the piano line, but it could be often the guitar line. It could be the bass line as well. It could be if there's other synthesizers or organs going on or whatever. I'm doing a composite rhythm. Now I can play simple too. If I did this, and at first that's what you do. You play simple chords at the beginning. If you do Let It Be at first, you kind of got to move to those chords eventually. But this is more like what Paul played. And honestly, I'm probably about, like 15, 20 years ago, I'm about as good of a piano player as Paul McCartney is. So, not that saying Paul McCartney's not a good piano player, because I think I'm an okay piano player, but he's not, some concert pianist. And I'm sure he would say the same thing. And even, Elton John or Billy Joel, any of these piano players, for the most part, they're mainly playing chords. So that's Crocodile Rock there. And so basically, it's just chords, kind of walking down to that E minor chord. And so that's what you're doing. And when I play guitar, I'm doing the same thing. I'm playing chords, and I'm coming up with a composite rhythm that's going on. Now, if I play with a band, well, I'm going to let the bass line do the bass line stuff. And if there's a synthesizer line or whatever, I'll let them play those lines there. Of course, singing. Of course, I can't sing because of the copyright stuff. Let's see. Let's see. So that's Uptown Girl from Billy Joel. chords. So once you learn your chord progressions, and then you learn your inversions for all these triads at first. And that's what you do at first. Let's start off with triads. Later on, you can get to 7 chords, 6 chords. You can get to more jazzy things later on. But if you're doing rock and roll, country, you know, blues, you can get by with the triads. 3 pitches. And I usually double the bass line with my hand here, my left hand. It makes it sound more full. Now I can't just play my thumb. I can. And then it just doesn't sound as full as. And plus I can kind of rock it a little bit. I can throw the 5th in there as well, you know. And the same thing like you're playing some type of boogie woogie. Most rock and roll is that 12-bar blues. So once you kind of get that down, you actually can play a ton of songs and different chord progressions that goes on. What time is it? That's right. It's Journey O'Clock time. Chord progression, and that chord progression there is very, used in a lot of different songs and everything. So once you get that down, and I remember when I finally had this epiphany, and this is a long time ago, it really wasn't too long on my piano playing, that I could use that as the root basically, and then play a triad on top of that, and whatever inversion I choose and whatever octave can add a lot of different, characteristics or flavor to the song. But even if I stay in this. Here's middle C, this close-up area here. It's going to sound good. And so what I would do is I would have a fake book back before this internet had sheet music, and I would just open up a page and sit down and start playing. And I did that for both the guitar and the piano. And at some point, you start seeing these chord progressions, these shapes. Like on guitar, I'm mainly thinking in sharp keys. On piano, I'm mainly thinking sharp keys because of guitar, but of course, it's easy to play flats. That's kind of the intro to, what was that? Oh, wa di, wa da. I think that's an inversion there. It could be. Anyways, and so those are the ones. There really aren't a whole lot of piano Beatles songs, so at one point I kind of learned them all. And anyways, so if you want to play rock and roll on the piano, that's what I would do. If you have a little bit of piano background and you understand your chords, your triads, and you understand inversions and how to play them, just do that for every chord, in the key that you're playing in. Go slow at first, kind of look at it, and what I'm doing is I'm just taking the bottom note and putting it on top. Bottom note, put it on top until get back to that original triad. And of course, you can move around on the bass like that as well, triadically. And of course, you can also move around a little bit. You walk that bass line to different chords and things like that as well. So. So it doesn't matter what, if the song has triads in it, I can pretty much almost sight read in each song, any rock and roll song. I'm decent on jazz, but definitely rock, I can pull it off pretty much all the time. Every once in a while you get something like Bohemian Rhapsody where it has a lot of chord changes, and I can get through it if I need to. It's got a lot of chords in there. But if you got 3 chords like Louie Louie, or Wild Thing, I can't remember, was it E or? So I did go learn to play all the keys. I'll be honest with you, I'm stronger with sharper keys because most of the rock and roll is guitar based, and therefore playing in the key of E is way more common than playing the key of E flat. I can play an E flat. E is I'm more used to that, even though playing in E flat is actually kind of easier on the piano and whatnot. So anyways, hopefully that helps a little bit for you out there that wants to get to a point of playing piano in whatever genre you want. And again, playing little classical pieces are is always kind of fun to. It's fun. But if you're playing Journey O'Clock. Oh yeah, I know that song. It's a lot more fun and everything like that, and so it's great. And it's interesting to me how I approach guitar versus piano. I do it a little bit different, So it's similar. And sometimes I got to transpose things in my head if I don't know it for the piano. I know it mainly for the guitar. Chord changes in my head, and I'm trying to say, all right, there's A minor to D to whatever chords and stuff like that. So yeah, sometimes I got to think if I know it in the guitar, but I haven't played on the piano. But anyways, it's kind of fun to be able to do that. The cool thing for me when I play with other musicians, because I know chords on the piano, I know chord shapes on the guitar. If I don't know the song, or I can see that the person's playing an E, or playing the bass is playing an open E, I can kind of guess, well, it's either E or E minor probably. And so that can help me play along in a band if I don't know the song, if I don't have charts and everything like that. Anyways, thank you for letting me ramble on about how I play piano and how I play this popular genre of piano and everything. And as always, rock and roll, of course, it does compute. If you like this amazing content, I know you do, subscribe. Computed.